Hey everyone, my name is Oscar, and I'm making this video because I did something pretty mind-blowing with Chat GPT the other day. I was able to make a chess app in like less than an hour. Um, and the reason that that was crazy for me is because I have absolutely zero experience programming games. I definitely would have had to look up some tutorials on how to do this, and I would have to spend time learning some libraries. And it would have taken me a much longer amount of time to actually make this game. But with ChatGPT, it's actually kind of incredible. You can just ask it questions and it'll do it for you. Kind of like if you had like a tutor next to you that is an expert on this topic, and it just makes the process so much faster. I was shocked by how fast I could do it, and if you're watching, you could probably do this same process to just make an app that you might have thought would have taken forever. So I'll just show you the process I went through, and hopefully it's as seamless. But to start, I just asked ChatGPT a simple question, um, something like, "Can you make a chess app?" Or um, maybe like, "Give me starter code for a chess app." I'm gonna actually ask it, um, "Please make or please show me starter code for a chess app in Python." And as you can see, it just starts writing code, which makes sense. I mean, it's an AI. It's not that mind blowing that it just starts writing code. But the thing that is mind blowing is if there's something you don't like about the code that it runs, you can kind of like you can be more specific and say like, I want more specifically this thing. And so right now it's writing code, and as you can see, it's initializing a board, and it's defining a move function. Um, and so this looks like it just made a class, which makes sense. It made a class for a board in Python, but if you run this, nothing's gonna. It's just gonna print. It's just gonna print an array here, which is not what we want. We want to actually have an interactive game. Um, and so I'm actually gonna be more specific and ask, can you make an interactive chess game in Python? And so it realizes it needs to use this Pygame library, which is a library I've never heard of before. And so it actually is just going to update the previous code using Pygame. So it's initializing this class, it's calling it chessboard, and it's just doing the same thing it did before, but it's just making a change. And this is, I think, what makes Chat GPT really powerful. You like if it writes code you don't like, you can actually just specify like, can you make it do this other thing too? And it will figure out how to do that. Um, and so yeah, it's adding this render function here, which does nothing, unfortunately. But handle input does use Pygame. I wonder why it skipped the render function. I wonder if it's gonna. I'm actually not sure what it's doing. But that's okay. When it's finished, I can try to run it and see if it does anything. It actually did a whole bunch of stuff. It added this clock, and let's see what this does. This is as new to me as it is to you. So let's make a new file. Um, let's call it chess.py, and let's just paste all that code that it just wrote out for us. Let's save and let's run it. Python 3 chess.py. All right, so there's an error. Display mode is not set. And so, that's gonna happen with this. Like, Chat GPT does not write production ready code, um, and and the first time I did this, it actually said that this code is not ready for production. Just make sure that you know what you're doing and make appropriate changes. But as you can see, this is already like really crazy. Like, it's already done a lot. Even if this code isn't ready for production, it's throwing an error. That's true. It's not perfect. Don't expect it to be perfect. But imagine how much time this would have taken me to do. And it just wrote it for me. I don't know what it does 100%, but we're gonna figure it out. So the error it's throwing is on line 51. It's saying right here that this display, there's this error of display mode not set. So I've never seen this library before, but we can just open up a new tab, Google this error, and just try to see if we can quickly debug it. And it says that you need to call this. So let's just do that and see if that fixes it. And so it says I'm not using screen. Let me just call this one too, see if either of these fix it. Actually, no, I realize now that's the same thing. So let's just save this. Let's try to rerun. Let's see if that fixed it. And I guess it worked at least. They got past that error, but we still don't have a chessboard. So I guess there's some issues with this, huh? I guess I have to try to learn what. So it loads this board. It initializes this clock, which is great. This is code that I added. And then while it's not a game over, what is game over? It's just set to false. We go into this loop. We run handle input on the board, which, that's just code that runs. What does it do exactly? We look at events, and it looks like the event that I did was mouse button down, and it threw an error, apparently on line 18 over here. So move is called here. Yeah, it looks like there's an error here with start and end. Yeah, so I guess let's just like really quick just print out what it's trying to do. Start and end. Let's just print those two out to see. So it printed out these numbers, and yeah, hell yeah, that's out of range. I think the problem it's having is it needs to, like, I wonder, so I'm seeing these numbers, and I'm seeing these numbers, and I'm wondering if this 800 by 600 is like a dimension thing. Let me make it 800 by 800. Okay, so this is, yeah, this looks different. That's good to know. I wonder if this is like actually, I think this is a square. I think before it was a rectangle. And so I think what I want to do here now is, let me rerun this real quick. So if I click here, I would expect to see like something indicating like the bottom right hand corner, and I do. So I think what I want to do in order to make these things in range is just to divide by 100, the start and end. So let me just do this divided by 100 and this divided by 100. I think this would make everything in range, but we'll see. So it threw an error, and it's because it's a tuple and an int. Start is a tuple. How is oh, I see. It is a tuple. Oh, I think it's because, oh, so start is where I click down, and end is where um, I let go of the mouse. Okay. So going up here, I just do this divided by 100, this divided by 100, this divided by 100. Same thing with this. This index is still out of range, and I think it's because over here, this again needs to be divided by 100. I missed this the first time. And it's complaining here, list assignment index out of range again. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, I'm silly. This needs to be over here. This needs to. This should work now, I think. And it did. It did. It actually worked. So that's great. It didn't crash. So the only thing is, why is it not displaying anything now? So the display, I think that's probably because this isn't doing anything. There's no like actual definition for a board. So I'm actually just going to ask Chat GPT, can you please write the render function? And then hopefully it does it. We'll see. So it's actually okay. So that's good. It's actually using PNG files, which obviously I'm gonna have to download from somewhere, but it's using like images for all the pieces. So this will look more like a chessboard this time, which is fantastic. So I'm just gonna skip until this stuff is done. And now it's writing the render function, which is fantastic. This is what I wanted. Hopefully I can just copy paste it. Okay. So it stopped abruptly, and I think that's okay because it actually wrote the full render function. So I'm just going to copy it, and I'm going to paste it here. I'm going to delete this. And so I put it in there. Now if I run this, just out of curiosity, what happens? It throws an error because it does not have this thing called a screen, which is totally fair. It did define it up here, so I'm actually going to just copy and paste this stuff too. I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to add those two very important variables. So I'm going to run this again, and now it's throwing another error. Yeah, it can't find the image. All right, so running this, it isn't able to find the image, so I'm actually just gonna go to Wikipedia real quick to find pictures of chess pieces. So I can just download these images. So going onto this page on Wikipedia, we can actually just like click on these and download them. So I'm going to do that off screen. Just I'm going to go through one of them one by one and actually download them. And then I'm just going to put them all in this directory. So I'm just going to skip that. Okay. Yeah, I literally just went through all of those images. I click download and I put them all in this directory. Opening them up, you'll see that they're just pictures of chess pieces. So now I'm going to try to run this and see if that fixes it. You can just see that they're pictures of chess pieces. So I'm actually going to try to run this now and see if that fixes the issue. And hey, this is fantastic. These are actually chess pieces. I don't know, not sure like if I can move these. I guess I can't, but it's not a checkered board, which I guess is a problem. Looking at the code to see how it renders the board, it looks like um, it doesn't look like it's like trying to. So this fills the screen with white color. I think I'd want to do this differently um, to make it like a checkered um, board. So actually, I could try to do that myself, or I could ask Chat GPT to do it. Um, can you make the board a checkered board? And this is good because now it's just writing the render function, but yeah, you see a problem with the code, and you can actually just ask it to fix it for you. Um, I was going to do it myself because that's what I would tend to do, but then I thought, hey, why not just ask ChatGPT to do it? And it's not connected to the internet at all. Like it's not like it's finding this code off of like a website or something like that. It's actually using AI to write it for you. So I'm going to copy this code and I'm going to put it here. And let's see if that fixes the issue. So running this, yes, look at how beautiful this looks. And how long did that take me? Not very long. So now I want these pieces to actually be able to move, because right now they don't move. Um, I wonder if it's because the move function sucks. So I just spent about 2 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes trying to debug this, and I realized rather than boring you guys with that, instead of me debugging this, I should ask Chat GPT to debug this. So I'm just going to skip over me doing stuff. I just added print statements. I didn't change any functionality. So here you go. Now, I'm not expecting this to work, but we can ask it. It looks like the move function, uh, the move functionality has a bug. Can you find what it is? The problem with the move function that you have provided is that it only updates the self.void 2D list with the new position of the pieces. However, it doesn't check if the move is valid or not, and it also doesn't check if the move puts the player's king in check or checkmate. That's true, and so that's good that it noticed it. Like it notices that this is a chess game, and it's gonna write some more code. It just sucks because while it's true that it's not checking if it's a valid move, it's just not even working, and that's what I wanted. Um, but this code is nice. I'll take it because it is more correct. And I'll put it here. It's interesting because I noticed that it's changed, which is interesting. Um, function has changed to have start piece and end piece, which it looks let's just copy paste and see if it's the same. Let's do this. All right, let's see if this works. So it still prints the board, which is great, but there's these indices being out of range, and that makes sense. I think what I want to do actually is go down here, and I'm going to change it here. I'm actually just going to change it over here again in the move function. I'm just going to divide these guys by 100 real quick. So it doesn't look like the move function's like, it might be doing stuff. I actually should check if it's printing. So let me print. Let me actually print. What is start piece? And let me print the end piece to see if. Okay, so that's the problem. It's not recognizing that there's a pawn here. I wonder. Oh, that's interesting. I guess it is working kind of, but it's working weirdly. What is going on? So I guess this is something. I guess I didn't notice it's working. Why is it working like this? If I click this rook and then I move up here, whoa. I see what's going on. I clicked to go from here to here, and I wanted to make a vertical move, but the board is interpreting it as a horizontal move, so it put it here where the queen was. And when I was trying to move a pawn, I think it was maybe switching the pawns earlier. How come that's so odd to me? Why was it able to? Oh, I think I know what's going on. Okay, so like, yeah, everything's inverted. Like this board is transposed. That's what the issue is. Okay, that makes sense. Um, so yeah, so basically it writes the board like this. Um, this is 0, 0. This white rook is 0, 0. And the king is specifically on 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's on 0, 4. That's where the king is. But when I click on the white king, I actually wonder what position it sees. So let's print start. So it sees, basically it sees 4, 0, but what I want it to be seeing is 0, 4. So I just need to invert these guys. So let me just switch all this stuff here. And so I just went ahead and switched those guys. But yeah, like Chat GPT has issues like this. They're, if you know how to program, like they're relatively easy to find, but interesting. It didn't work. It didn't fix the issue. So I wonder, is it still transposed? Oh, I know why it's doing that, because I did not save this file. And so that fixes the issue. So that's great. Look, like this is already like so much progress for a chess game. Obviously, like the king can move like over here, which these rules aren't being enforced. But the fact that you can do this, and it took me about half an hour to do this. Like I skipped for your guys' convenience, but the fact that you can get this far in just 30 minutes to me without having any prior experience, at the very least with making games. Obviously, I have some programming experience, and it helped me figure out the transpose thing. But hey, I mean, if you're a coder and you want to like start with something that you've never done before, this would be pretty good. Um, so yeah, like I think if you have some basic experience with programming, you could probably just write these functions at this point, like this is valid move and is in check. And if you wrote these guys, you would be able to, uh, like have a fully working chess game. And that would be pretty epic. You could ask Chat GPT to do those things for you too. I don't know if it'll work. I'm just going to stop here. But I think this is an awesome tool. I'm definitely going to be trying to do things that I haven't done ever before. I think this is fantastic. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this has been helpful to you. Maybe it motivates you to make something. If so, let me know. Let me know down below what you think of this video. If you want more stuff like this. My name's Oscar, and it's been great. Thanks.